Hi Janet, I'm going to try to answer all the questions you put in your email. We'll start with the discussion board. So communication at the top, go to your discussions, and I'm going to show you here on my introductory forum. You always want to go to the edit, and when you come down, if the forum is always visible, the students can see it all the time. If you want it for a specific time frame, you have to click this box, add when you want them to see it, and if you want an end date, you don't have to put an end date, and that would be how you do that part. As the instructor, you should always be able to see the students' responses. They should never go away. So you would just go back into communications, click discussions, and you'll see here that I have several discussion boards open. Even though this closes on September 28th, at any time I can go and see a student's response. I'm not sure why you're not able to see it unless you're in a student view. So let's double check that. So if you go to your home page, no, I'm sorry, wrong. If you go back into your course, and over here where it says role switch, you always want to make sure that you are on my role, instructor. You can go look at what you did as a student, but if you're in as a student and the time frame has gone away, you won't be able to access the discussion board. That's the only thing I can really think of that is keeping you from seeing your discussion board. So check that out to make sure that you are in your course as an instructor. To answer your questions about grading, there are several ways to create grades, but I'm going to show you the overall one. You go up to assessment and you click on grades. Okay, as you can see, I already have several grades established here already. You want to manage your grades, and when you manage your grades, it gives you an overall view of what you have up as already. When you want to add a new grade item, you can click on new, and you want to add the item. That is actually the piece that will be graded. The category is what you see here. Under practicum is my category, and under practicum I have several items. You do not need to do a category. The easiest way to create a grade is just to click on item. You choose the grade type such as numerical. You name it, sample. If we had a category, you would connect it, but we don't, so we'll leave that empty. You're able to put a description in for the students, but typically you don't have to. Whatever your maximum grade point is, so if you're grading on a 0 to 100, your maximum grade point would be 100. The weight of your assignment, and the default scheme is always the MSN 2014. That's the most recent because we upped the A. Used to be 93 and now I think it's 95 to 100 for an A. And then down here are options for you to do, and you already selected this, and you would do save and close, and you will see that the sample item came up. Now, when you have all your grades like this, you can bulk edit. So if I click sample and I come up to more actions, it lets me delete it. But before I delete it, I want to show you that I can move my grades around. So when you're looking at your grades the way the student sees them, you may want them in a particular order. So you can actually click on this, reorder, and see how the sort numbers come up. So if I want to, for whatever reason, move my seminar discussion boards to being the first thing that the students see, I save it, And now seminars are at the top of the grading. And I'll show you how that changed here when I go into the grades. It just moves it around. And this is what I was talking about before. When you add a category, these are all my discussion boards. They're under this one big category, and then each discussion board is an item. I wanted to let you know, when you create a graded item and you want your students to upload the paper or the project to the Dropbox, the way to do that is, again, to come under the assessment, click on Dropbox, and now you need to create a new folder. And you would name the Dropbox similar to what the graded item is, such as sample. And when you come down here, graded item, you would look here to connect them. So what this does is when the student uploads to the Dropbox, it's connected to the grading. So when you're grading in Dropbox, you're able to just put the grade in and it populates in the grade book. So this is where you want to connect it. If for some reason you forgot, like right here I have sample, so I would just click this and that would connect the two. But let's say, for example, this is sample 2, and I come down here to new grading items and I say, oh, I don't have a sample 2. If you just click on this hyperlink here, you're able to create that graded item to coincide with the Dropbox. So it allows you to do it at the same time. Then you adjust, again, restrictions would allow you to set how you want things done. I'm sorry, it didn't click over. Oh, that's because it's telling me I have an error. So it's out of 100, we'll say. Okay, it should let me do it now. So restrictions over here allows me to say, when do I want a student to upload to the Dropbox? Do I want them to be able to upload anytime that they want, or do I want the Dropbox to have a due date? And typically, I always give them a due date. And I always make my Dropboxes consistent. I always do 11:59 p.m. So the students get in the habit to know, oh, I got to get this in before the stroke of midnight, or else I'm going to be considered late. So that is how you do a Dropbox.